Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those new here, hi, my name's Jenny and I'm a third-year family medicine resident. So I know some of you guys have been following me on this journey since I was in medical school, and you guys continue to support me as my family grew, as I moved on further in my medical career. So now I'm happily married, I have 2 children, and I'm almost done with residency. And what I appreciate so much about this community is that you guys want to know me for me. Like, we talk about depression, anxiety, how we deal with work-life balance, handling stress, dealing with kid tantrums, learning about breast milk and relationships and medicine and preventative care and all that good stuff. And I'm so happy that you guys accept me for like all of me. And so I just wanted to say thank you for that. So today on Instagram, I asked you guys if you guys have any questions for me. So I'll be talking about all these variety of things like family, motherhood, relationships, and medicine and med school and undergrad and all that stuff. So I really love getting to know you guys this way. I hope you guys are able to know me through these Q&As. So if you are interested, then keep on watching. I'll leave timestamps to all the questions that I answered today in the description box down below. So if you guys want to just skip through, if you're not interested in everything we talk about, then you can check it out there. Okay, yeah, Amunda Fam says, I got accepted into medical school. What do I do before I start school? Well, first off, congratulations on med school acceptance. And what I would personally do is nothing. I would not study for school. I would not try to prep for school. I would enjoy my last summer of freedom before medicine. Like, I would travel if I had the funds. I would visit all my family and friends. I would party. I don't know, like, I would just relax, because once you start medical school and once you start this journey of medicine, it does not end. Like, you are a constant learner. And you will constantly learn every single day for the rest of your life, and you're constantly taking tests and questioning yourself. So right now, when the stress is not there yet, I say just relax if you can. A question from Krina Gibbs. Do you have any videos on how to increase milk supply? Thanks. I actually do. I'll link it in the description box and right here in the cards. But basically, your body is really smart, so it's all about supply and demand. So if you want to create more breast milk, then you just have to drink a lot of water and pump more often, and fully empty your breasts. There are 2 supplements that I did take when I tried to increase my supply, and that's fenugreek and Maxi Milk. And then I talk more about that in that other video as well. Naomi Gabrielle 2018 asked, do you and Stan want more kids? Dr. Jenny, and how do you guys settle on a number? So Stan and I always said that we wanted 2 kids, but after I had Wyatt, I had severe postpartum depression and I was not ready, and I thought to myself that 1 was enough. So I guess to answer your question is, like, you don't really know. Like, your family has to come to that answer on their own. After I felt a little bit better, we decided that, you know, we wanted Wyatt to have a best friend and our family to grow, and so we decided to have another baby. And with the second pregnancy, I felt like I didn't have to hide it as much, and I was more vocal about my pregnancy and shared it with social media and you guys, and so I was a lot happier through my pregnancy. And London is just the sweetest little guy, and so I felt like with the second pregnancy I handled it really well. And so now I'm thinking, should I have more kids? Should we have more? But Stan's like, absolutely not. He doesn't want any more children. Like, we really want a little girl. And he says that unless I can guarantee him that he's gonna get a girl, then he doesn't want any more kids. I was like, well, that's not really up to me, right? You're the one who determines the sex of the baby. And there's really only two ways to do that, right? If we do in vitro, where we pick the sex, or if we adopt. And I feel like I would just rather adopt than go through in vitro. So, okay, so Jeannie Kim asked me, is there anything you regret? Anything you wish you could have done differently? I don't want to say that I regret anything, just because everything that I've been through made me who I am today. But I do have sad feelings when I think back of how like I made a whole video on this about cultural differences, and Stan didn't really ask me to, or Stan didn't really ask my mom for her permission for us to get married. I was kind of just like, oh look, we're engaged, and I guess that's not how our culture is, and I guess I didn't really know that, and I guess I didn't look into it further, and I didn't really press Stan on it either, and I wish I would have. I mean, the outcome would have been the same, but there was a year in between where me and my mom didn't talk at all, because she didn't agree with the decisions I was making. But you know, I'm a grown adult, and I just wish that she would, like, I just wish that she would support me, and what made me happy, but at the same time she felt like I was disrespecting her. So I feel like that whole situation could have been handled differently with the same outcome, but at this point I'm just like, I don't know how it would have with our type A personalities. Like, me and my mom both have type A personalities, so yeah, I don't say I regret it, I just say that I'm sad when I think back about that situation. I think Jeannie Kim also had this good question on how do you make time for Stan when you have kids, a full-time job as a doctor, and a mom. And to be honest, like, we are really bad at making time for each other. Like, Stan tries to think of things that we can do together, family trips to the museum, going out to the park together on the weekends when I'm not working. But most of the time, like, he'll let me rest. Like, I'll come home from a long day's work, and sometimes I just crash and fall asleep, and then when I wake up I take care of London, and then Stan puts Wyatt down for bed, and sometimes he falls asleep in there. Most times he falls asleep in bed, and so we used to try to put Wyatt to bed and then have family time together, but now recently it's just been really difficult, and we're both drinking a lot of coffee and it's really not working. So we're still trying to figure out how to spend more time together. I'm trying to find a sitter that we trust so we can leave both of the kids for a short time to go on more dates. My co-resident Azra, from her handle is Married in Medicine, says, how are you such an awesome mama and doctor? Well, I would say I have good people and influences around. If you guys don't know her, you need to check her out. She is also a doctor mama, and her husband is an internal medicine resident, and she talks about primary care and medicine and balancing the two. So I'll leave her handle here. Zena Nguyen says, how to find the right career. Some viewers of yours aren't interested in medical school but like your content. Oh, thanks. So I think finding a career is really hard, especially coming from my culture, where my parents were like, you're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be a lawyer, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and you don't want to disappoint them. It's hard to branch out and discover the things that you love. I think personally that college is a space for experimentation, exploration, discovering yourself and who you are, what you love, and it's a place where to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes. You know, I feel like that's the time to do it. And that's where you discover yourself and what you really love to do. Okay, so Jada AE says, how to prepare body for pregnancy. Is CBD intake okay while pregnant? How do you prepare your body for pregnancy? I think it's how you prepare your body throughout life. Like, you should always be healthy, or the healthiest you can be, especially when you're pregnant, because everything you eat and everything you do, the baby is getting it as well. I highly recommend against smoking marijuana during pregnancy and in breastfeeding, just because it transfers through the breast milk and your baby gets it. It's known to cause developmental delays and poor suction and eating, you know, like baby has discoordination when trying to eat. There's not enough studies on CBD. Like, you guys don't know how many sponsored people have tried to contact me and told me to sponsor CBD, and I just can't, because there's not enough information out there to tell people that it's safe. Like, there's not enough research on it, so I can't recommend something to you. Like, there are some patients that tell me that rubbing CBD oil on their joints when they have arthritis really helps with their pain, but there's no research on CBD ingestion. So that's my take on it. And if I was pregnant, then I would just, like, I just wouldn't. What do FM residents do when they're on inpatient rotations? Doctors, FM physicians also work inpatient, and they can also work as hospitalists. So I do the exact same thing as my internal medicine co-residents. I take care of patients, I order their meds, I consult specialists, I manage their care, their social care, their families, everything like that. So I basically work as an internist. In my intern year, I would hold 10 patients at a time, and once in a while I would take like extra admits on top of that, but very, very rarely, because there's a cap of 10 and I would push back if there was any more than that. As a senior, you look after the intern and maybe the second year, or the intern and the med student, and so they're writing the notes, they're managing the patients, but you're overlooking the whole panel. So there could be 20 patients on your list, and each resident would have 10 and 10 under you. You don't have to write any notes, but you're overlooking all their care, and at the same time you're teaching. So as family medicine residents, you do all that stuff. Probably not 05 asked, is the flu vaccine worth it? I say yes. If you have ever worked in the emergency department, you would know, like, people who come in with the flu and have not gotten the flu vaccine, they look like death. Like, they're vomiting, they have abdominal pain, they have muscle aches everywhere, they're 103 degrees. Pregnant people are more likely to end up in the ICU if they have the flu without the flu vaccine. You can still get the flu after getting the flu vaccine, not from the vaccine, but you can still get the flu. Your symptoms would be a lot milder and more easily managed. There's a lot of patients who say, you know, like, I'm young, I'm healthy, like, this is not gonna affect me, I don't ever get the flu vaccine. But the young people are oftentimes affected, and they can get really sick, they can get a heart attack, they can end up in the ICU, and you know, like, I've seen some really, really, really sick people who just got sick from the flu and passed away. I personally would recommend getting the flu vaccine. I get the flu vaccine every year, and especially now that I have London, who's small and can't get the flu vaccine and can't protect himself, like, I need to do this for him. This person's handle is too long, but they asked, how did your depression affect your relationship with Stan? Stan is like the best partner and a better person than I can ever be, and I am so lucky to have him. But I remember like my postpartum depression, I was doubting everything, like doubting medical school, doubting residency, doubting where I was in life, like who I was, what I was doing, my career, our relationship, and I had just so much doubt and anxiety, and he was just a rock. Like he didn't know what to do and he didn't know what to say, but he was there and he supported me no matter how much I pushed him away, no matter how much I cried. Like he was there, and I am so grateful for that because I don't know how I would have done it. I'm just very lucky to have a good partner, and I'm happy to say that we're in a better place now. And I think that everybody needs to constantly work on their relationship. Like everything's not perfect, but I think we're at a much better place. So Sandra JC Flores asked, FM locum tenens, is it difficult to obtain part-time FM res? I want to say yes. I'm in the process of trying to find a part-time job right now. I do not want to work more than 0.6. I do not care. People on here who are telling me I have a bunch of school loans, I should be paying that off. I should be putting my head down and working my ass off and not spending time with my kids. Like I just refuse. Like I refuse to miss any more time with Wyatt in London. Like they are only kids for so long. Like they're only gonna want to cuddle me for so long. They're only gonna think I'm cool for so long. Like I'm not gonna have this forever, and so I refuse to give up this time in their life just so I can pay off my school loans. Like they can wait, and honestly, like I don't care. So, but that being said, it's been a lot harder to find a part-time job than I thought. I thought that like since primary care is at such a shortage that everyone is gonna want to hire me like no matter what, but they were saying that as long as you are part-time, the person who is willing to work full-time, even if they're less qualified than you, they will get the job. So I think I'm gonna end the video there. London needs to get ready for bed and he's hungry, and so as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me, supporting our family. Thank you for growing with us and continuing to watch our videos. I'd love to get to know you guys in the comment section. So tell me about yourself. Where are you guys from? What are your favorite hobbies? Like what do you guys like to do? Do you have kids? If you haven't already, please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Wyatt, London, and I are fairly active on there. Do lots of Insta stories even though we don't post as often. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Whoa. You wanna stand? You wanna stand up? Whoa. Hi. Hi, buddy. Say, oh, you're gonna spit now? Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Say hi to everybody. Yay. Hi. Yay. Yay. Okay. Time for bed. Let me take a bath.